Good afternoon, everybody. Quite the intro to follow there. I'm Dan Coscarella, Director of Broadcast Sales and Technology here at Camplex. Thank you for joining us today. We're here to talk about some exciting new news. It's the opticalCON DRAGONFLY hybrid connector system. That's from Neutrik. It's a really innovative solution that will spare engineers, system integrators, live production, tech crews, you name it, a lot of headaches associated with their fiber optic budget, loss, and where typically single mode fiber could be corrupted by some dirt or dust. The DRAGONFLY XB2 technology that's integrated into the connector vastly improves performance in less than ideal situations. Candidly, might be the easiest maintenance of any fiber connector out there. But before we get into it, I wanted to say thank you to our friends at Neutrik for joining us today. Let's get started. Camplex and Neutrik have been partners in fiber optic cabling and interface solutions for a very long time, in business together since 2013 and beyond. Camplex is a COCA, a certified opticalCON cable assembler. We're currently the only supplier in the US to offer complete support and assemblies for the new DRAGONFLY. And I'm proud to introduce today's host from Neutrik USA, the application manager, David Kuklinski. David has over 35 years experience in the broadcast and pro AV, covering areas of production, operations, system design. His experience is extensive, working on award-winning high definition and 4K system designs. David, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, thank you. And thank you for everyone who took some time today to participate in our webinar. But we're really excited to tell you about DRAGONFLY, and Camplex has been a great partner. So I guess we'll get right into it. We welcome everybody to the DRAGONFLY Hybrid Camera Solution Seminar today. Neutrik, revolutionized the broadcast and pro AV industry when they introduced opticalCON Advanced, ruggedizing the LC and MTP connector. And DRAGONFLY is just another revolutionary new product. You may ask the question, why a new camera connector? Well, we saw some changing technologies that we're able to take advantage of that will allow high performance, ease of cleaning that were not available up until recently. Also, we wanted a product that, a connector design that will allow us to take care of 4K technology today, but as data rates increase, we wanted a connector design that will allow us to increase with the potential of adding more than 2 fibers to it. We had some customer feedback on our opticalCON Advanced, so we wanted to improve our design, and we incorporated some of those comments into the new DRAGONFLY design. And then there was just some other markets that were asking for a hybrid, ruggedized camera cable solution. So let's look at it. If you're familiar with opticalCON Advanced, you'll notice that this is a really radically different cable connector design. First, it is a male and female system, where opticalCON Advanced was a male-male system. So what this allows the users to do is connect 2 ends of the cable together, obviously without couplers. That's something that is part of the design of opticalCON Advanced. You'll see a lot of other interesting changes that we'll dive into here. So let me get into the breakout of the camera cable side. This is the male side of the camera connector. First of all, we added a larger guiding nose at the front of the connector. So what that means to end users is they're maybe in an awkward situation where the chassis connector is maybe at an awkward location or in the dark, and you're just kind of feeling how to plug that camera cable in. That massive guiding nose certainly helps significantly. We've also made a little larger orientation sign for ease of operation. We improved the push-pull mechanism of the DRAGONFLY connector. We also, though, incorporated the same color coding ring options. So this is the first one. It's on the lockable dirt protection cap. You have a variety of color rings that if you wanted to put on that, you can. We improved the latch lock system, and this is a vast change from opticalCON Advanced. If you've ever had to take apart an opticalCON Advanced connector, it was a little challenging to get those rings easily off, but this is much easier to unscrew the connector. We've employed the lens ferrule technology that we'll talk about, the XP2 module, and the copper contacts are now crimped. They are no longer soldered. The space in here is a little larger too for easier termination. The overall system in mated conditions has now gone to an IP68 rated connection. And again, as part of our anti-kink boot system that we've brought over from the Advanced series, we have our second color coding ring option back there. So overall, it's a much different and much more improved design than the Advanced series. And then the female side of the camera connector offers the same elements to it in terms of the IP68 rating, the lens ferrule, and all the other improvements we made. As we look at the other part of the system, the chassis connector, this is the female chassis connector. What customers have asked for is really a system that's modular, easy to replace if something gets broken, and we've certainly have done that. First of all, with a dirt protection cap, we've added another color coding ring. So again, if you need to color code your connections or your cables, they're easy to do. Again, it's IP68 in the mated condition. We put a good size orientation sign on the chassis connector so it's easy to see where you need to plug it in. A big change from opticalCON Advanced is that this chassis connector is the same size as a LEMO style cutout. And the reason we did that is to allow camera manufacturers to easily put this in their cameras or camera control units. And if customers are increasing, say, patch panels or changing out patch panels or BSP panels, the DRAGONFLY chassis connector easily fits in that same space. We've improved the shielding, so we have more points of contact within that chassis connector for improved shielding. The patch cable that plugs in the back is really easy to replace with the XP2 patch cable system. Again, the copper contacts are crimped, and we're using the XP2 module, which is the unique ferrule that we'll discuss here in detail. And the male chassis connector, again, very similar in design. It's got the massive guiding nose here. So again, it's really nice. Operators really like how it feels when when they're plugging that into the chassis connector. It is a LEMO cutout as well. So looking at the XP2 patch cable, this is the patch cable that you plug in the back of the chassis connectors. You will notice that they are based upon an MPO dimension. So we're very familiar with MPO and MTP with our success with opticalCON Advanced MTP 12 and 24. We do employ the high precision lens ferrule. So this is an expanded beam ferrule, and we'll talk about the advantages of that. It's relatively small form factor, ruggedized, and they are push-pull, so they're easy to take on and off the back of the chassis connector. And we have some anti-kink boot, so if you need to bend the cable a little bit, the anti-kink boot will help support that. A note on the chassis connectors, the IP68 sealing kits are optional. And they're just washers that you would need to purchase to put on the chassis connectors. Basically, what that does is allow people that don't need that type of protection, say in BSP panels or on cameras or CCUs, they can leave that off and save some money. The copper contacts, again, they are crimp contacts. Most people will use the standard DMC tool that you see here. That's readily available, say on Amazon. But our crimping contacts, the crimp dies are unique to DRAGONFLY, so you'll just need to get a couple of those for your field crimp needs. OpticalCON Dragonfly also, we have a mobile workstation. It's based upon Fusion Splice technology. It's an easy process to repair this in the field, although I have to say, it does require a lot of skill. This is a SMPTE camera cable with copper contacts and the fiber contacts. So I don't recommend everyone run out and purchase this. This is an expensive system because it includes everything you need, the Fusion Splicer, et cetera, but it does allow customers to perhaps do some repairs in the field, or like a partner like Camplex and come and do field repairs easily. The cables that we use for Dragonfly are the same approved camera cables that we have for our OpticalCON Duo SMPTE. So there's no special camera cables here that are needed. So companies like Ferrule, Northwire, OCC, Belden, those are already approved. The patch cables are high quality products from Huber and Sooner using Corning glass. If you want to start configuring a part number on an OpticalCON Dragonfly system, you go to the website, go to our part number generator, and get some specifics in terms of length, and you can get a specification together, which Camplex can price up for you. Now let's look closely at the technology of Dragonfly, because this is really the differentiating factor between other fiber systems out on the market. If we look on the left, we're showing a physical contact style fiber here, single mode fiber. This orange dot here is the 9-micron piece of glass. 9 microns is smaller than a piece of human hair. So any dust particles that get on that green dot could stop the light from passing through. And so down here, what we're showing is a fiber connection with 2 physical contact connectors connecting together, and that's how they pass light. So if you have dust on one side, you're probably going to contaminate the other side, so you'll have to clean both sides. And if you have certain high contaminants on that, you might, because it's a physical contact, you risk scratching the ferrules on one or both sides. With the XP2 solution, you see that our surface area where we're passing light is substantially larger. It's 330 times more surface area than the physical contact 9 micron. And what happens there is there's lenses on the end of the ferrule, so they actually do not touch. They're very close, and they pass light back and forth with the 2 lenses. So you don't have the physical contact. You don't risk scratching the ferrules if there's contamination on either one. And the same amount of dust particles that may block light on your physical contact ferrule may not even be a factor in this larger surface area. So those are really some advantages there of the XP2 solution. Again, with the patch cables, you can fusion splice the back of the patch cable into your environment. They can come with LCs or STs. They're easy to terminate. They're consistent quality, 100% reliability, because we pre-polish all the XP2 ferrules, so there's nothing you need to do on that side. Looking at some of the performance on the optical side of Dragonfly, this new technology allows us now to get a lower insertion loss than what is typical in an expanded beam lens ferrule. Typically, those insertion loss values are 1 to 1.5 dB. With Dragonfly, we're down to 0.6 dB per connection. So it allows us to have multiple connections and multiple patch points and still have a really good fiber budget. On the mechanical side, we have 900 newtons of pull force. That allows us to have 200 pounds of pull force. I mean, I could literally plug a Dragonfly cable into a chassis connector and pull as hard as I can, or swing from it, and it will not pull out. We have 10,000 mating cycles and guaranteed. And of course, with the sealing kits and in the mated condition, the entire Dragonfly system is IP68 rated. The electrical side, we've improved the power side of that, the rated voltage, all the way up now to 600 volts. So that should cover a wide variety of cameras. And most cameras now are going to DC voltage, so we're well within the requirements of future technologies. Another significant advantage of Dragonfly is how easy it is to clean. Really, all that's required for the most part is canned air. If you have heavy contamination, you may need to spray a little water droplets into the ferrule to loosen the contaminants, and then again use the canned air to remove those, or you could use a cleaning stick. So what that means is you do not need scopes to inspect if you've cleaned your ferrule or not. You don't need isopropyl alcohol or wipes. So really it's down to canned air, and you're not touching the surface of the ferrule, so you don't risk having it scratched. And if it's scratched, then the cables have to be sent back and repolished. So that is take them out of use. Looking at some ideal customers that we feel are ideal for this product. If we look at colleges and universities that may have a central control room and they're tying in a variety of stadiums and other facilities around campus, the advantage of deploying opticalCON Dragonfly for these type of customers, they may have a group of students that are running camera, etc. And if there is a contamination issue, it's easy for the student to disconnect, spray some canned air at the end of the connector, clean the connector, and then continue on with the production. So you don't have to risk having them improperly clean your fiber and scratch it, etc. The same thing for house of worship customers. Again, they use a lot of volunteer staff that may be running cameras and things. And again, if there's a contamination issue during the service, it's easy for them to clean the connector. And then also broadcast stations that may be deploying Dragonfly in camera patching areas or on studios. Again, same situation, easy to clean. If you're doing a lot of patching, doing a live show and you have a contamination issue, you'll be quicker to clean and get your camera connected with Dragonfly. So again, just to summarize the benefits, it's the best lens fiber performance on the market with the 0.6 dB insertion loss. That's far superior than any other expanded beam technology on the market. It's really dust insensitive. You have that substantially larger, 322 times larger surface area of the ferrule. So a small amount of dust that may block the light being passed on a physical contact connector typically is not an issue with Dragonfly. With fusion splicing technology, the XP2 modules already come ready to go, pre-polished, and all you have to do is either connect them with the LC or ST that's on the other end, or fusion splice them into your existing fiber. The anti-kink boot of Dragonfly, again, is the same one we use on opticalCON Advanced, and it's far superior than some of the other competitors on the marketplace. Quicker to repair the system. So if you have an issue with the chassis connectors, you can either, you repair the items that are broken. So it could be the chassis connector itself, it could be the patch cable, it could be the copper connector. So it's modular and easy to repair. So your cost and time savings to repair will be much quicker. Again, low maintenance interval. You save the cost of having expensive scopes and wipes and isopropyl alcohol to clean the connector. Really just canned air is all you need. So your cost of ownership over time is improved with opticalCON Dragonfly. And again, the chassis connector is easy to repair with the plug-in breakout cables. So at this point, what I'm going to do is bring up another presentation, and I'll actually show how easy it is to clean the Dragonfly connector with this video.
All right, we're going to show you right now how easy it is to clean the Dragonfly camera connector. For demonstration purposes, we have a media player that's playing this video clip. The HDMI is being converted to fiber, going through the XB2 module. This is the heart of the Dragonfly system. These XB2 modules are not only in the camera connector, but also are what you plug into the back of the chassis connector. And then the output is, again, fiber into LCs going back into a decoder that feeds the monitor. So that's our signal chain here. And what I'll do is unplug this, and I'll contaminate it pretty significantly with some dust particles that we have here. If we were to plug this back in, the signal would not pass through. It's pretty caked in there with the dust particles. All I need to do is take some canned air, blow that out, plug that back in. If there is a lot of contamination, you may need to just spray a little water in there to loosen the particles. Again, you blow them out. Again, not using a cleaning swab, etc., will not scratch the face of the ferrule. So that's so easy to clean the Dragonfly camera connector. And again, you can see our signal is back up and running.
That there again is just a good demonstration for you in terms of how easy it is to clean.
You can integrate or adapt any system. If somebody is in a very dirty environment and they want to go from their existing wall box for LEMO to a camera that's in a rough place, maybe it's a rodeo or a monster truck rally, you can go right to your expanded beam on the camera side and have a easy maintenance, or swap it out the chassis mount. If the breakout box has a breakout cable, we can ship you a breakout cable and then a Dragonfly cable, and you're rocking and rolling. So it'll be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's the beauty of fiber. There's a lot of options, so we can get from one connector to another one pretty easily. And a group like Camplex does a fantastic job of putting together exactly all the pieces that you need for your system.
Yeah, bingo. I think that probably covers it here. In closing, I definitely want to thank you, David, and the Neutrik team for supporting us and giving us this opportunity. We're excited to be a member of your COCA team and now expanded beam as well. There's a big future for us. If anybody needs us, you can reach me at sales@camplex.com or Daniel@towerpower.com, many aliases. And I know David's here for your support. If there's any opportunities in the field to get you a case study, of course, we're going to support that as best we can. If you need any drawing supports, we do Visio drawing workflows. We can help you redraw your existing system, or if you don't know how to efficiently create a patch bay for your 4 CCUs and 10 cameras, we'll design that out for you, make it simple and easy, including a parts list. So any questions you have, big or small, bring it to us, sales@camplex.com. David, if you have anything to add before we wrap up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for everyone for attending. And if there's any specific questions you have for me, you can reach me at david@neutricusa.com.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
All right, thank you.